What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start this show by being transparent and probably not going to be saying this too often, in the near future. But yesterday was a day where I didn't get involved with anything. Talked about those two games, been thinking about them for months. I didn't feel comfortable enough. And honestly, I think I saved myself some money because the overtime, I chose Rockets team total
Oh,
under or that would have been a disaster. So it was good for me to be on the sidelines yesterday. How's everything for you, and how you feeling today?
doing good, Ski. There was one NBA play for me yesterday. We talked about it here. The Golden State Lakers game over the total. Barely got there, but it did get there. Real second half flurry. Again, Ski, how about Golden State third quarter? One more time, right? 35-25 last night. They win. Maybe that's a thing we can pick up again this year. But the total did get there. And then I had a college football total with the Kennesaw State game over, and that got over the total. So it was 2-0. Small plays, but still 2-0 is 2-0. We'll take it.
2-0. I mean, if you do that every day, man, you go get you a nice island, Rob Veno.
Yeah.
We'll take 2-0 every single day.
You come visit me out there on the island.
All right, as long as you got the tequila pineapple, we'll be good. All right, let's get to some actionable info. We have a lot of games. I didn't count them all, but I'm gonna eyeball. I think it's 11 or 12. We'll see. So, um, we won't talk about all of them, as much as we did those two games yesterday. But the ones we feel stronger about, we'll get to. And also, want to throw this out there. It's the beginning of the season. You don't get the normal. We don't have numbers to go off of. No recent performance, no anything. So it'll be a little bit different of a handicap and show than what you'll probably see, 2 weeks from now. All right, Vino, let's get to it. Cleveland, New York is first up, 505, 506. That opened up New York minus 3.5. Flip of favorites. Cleveland is now minus 3.5. Total open 229.5. And I'm seeing 226.5. Literally, right before I did the show, I think I just saw that injury with Carl Anthony Towns. So let's take a look here. Refresh, because like I told you off air, every 5 seconds somebody's ruled out. No Mitch Robinson, no Josh Hart. Towns is listed as doubtful. I thought I saw him out, but maybe I guess I should double check. But I swear I just saw him listed as out right now, and that's why the number came down. Doubtful, probably just as good as out. OG Ananobi is probable. For the Cavaliers, no Max Struess, no Garland. Then you have Hunter questionable. These are supposed to be two of the top teams in the East here, Ravino. And again, I have to change the spread and total here because the lines are moving, as we speak. But it's not the matchup that we were looking forward to with everybody out for New York, right? They could be down three. I mean, three key guys. They are down three key guys. For Cleveland, they do have more of their core. I mean, at this point, it seems like it's Cleveland's game to lose, Ravino. I'll tell you this before I pass it to you. I did bet under in this game. And, some of why I liked it is gone away now. But I still think it could potentially get there. The things that I was saying that I like that are gone are I like Mitchell Robinson being able to protect the paint, Karl Anthony Towns being able to protect the paint, and you have another pair of bigs on the other side who can do the same thing in Mobley and Jared Allen. But we're not going to get those two bigs for the New York side. Other than that, the pace without Darius Garland for that Cavaliers team definitely dropped last season. I know they got an addition, and Lonzo Ball. We'll see if he'll keep the tempo going. But between that, also missing a shooter and Max Struess, I was looking towards an under. 229.5 is the number I got. We're now looking at 226.5. Do you think, would you still trust it with the injury report? How are you looking at this game, Ravino?
Yeah, this one's tough, Ski. Too many missing pieces. I did not play it. The Knicks certainly are hurt defensively by all these absences. And, generally speaking, last 2 years, 3 years, when I speak of Cleveland, at least, and I think when most of us speak with Cleveland, I've done a bunch of shows with you the last 5 years. We talk about Cleveland's front line: Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. There's nobody to contest those two guys. I mean, Jared Allen, I don't. And again, I'm not a prop guy, but these are the thoughts that came to my mind. Jared Allen rebounds has to be in play here. Evan Mobley, from everything that came out of Cleveland in the offseason and some of the preseason, Evan Mobley looks like they're looking toward him to be a bigger scorer, carry more of the scoring load this year. That probably is in play. I don't know what his points are, but from a prop perspective, I would think that the two bigs on Cleveland's side, I mean, how many minutes can Yabusele give them, the Knicks, at center here? He's a part-time player for Philly, forced into action last year due to injuries. He's a good player, solid player, but he's a backup. I don't know that he can give you more than 23, 24 minutes that are good. So to me, I don't know that I could trust the total under, simply because the Knicks are likely probably going to want to push it a little bit. They're such a small team here tonight, and Cleveland has such an interior edge. I don't want to play under, don't want to play over. The only thing I could recommend here is maybe the two bigs for Cleveland in some prop form look like the best possible plays to me.
Yeah, Cody says Knicks may struggle to score here, looking at their team total under. Yeah, Cavs still have, that defense on their side. It could be a good way to pivot there. Let's keep going, Rob. Do have a lot of games today. And next up, looks like 507, 508. Brooklyn and Charlotte opened up -4.5 for the Hornets. Currently 5. Total open 222.5, all the way up to 228.5. So shot up about 6 points there. As far as who's available, I do see Grant Williams and Josh Green out for the Hornets. Highsmith out for the Nets. A little bit of a new Nets team here. Here's how I think about this one. I don't really trust all of the guys on the Nets team. I trust Cam Thomas. I trust Michael Porter both to score. I trust LaMelo to play with pace and score. I trust Brandon Miller to score. Like, if I'm playing this one, I agree. The total is moving in the right direction. It's already moved 6 points. You're getting the ass into the line, but I think that's the right way for it to go. Other than that, I don't think either of these teams are great defensively. And, in basketball, I don't like to lay with teams I don't trust to get stops. So it would be Brooklyn probably or over, in this one. And when I think about that too, MPJ, I think he'll want to have a good debut over there for the Hornets. So maybe bet on him. Anything for you in this game between Nets and Hornets, Rob Veno?
Yeah, I actually played Skee. And again, I think one thing that you said off the top, it's the beginning of the season. And for those of you who may purchase plays that I've had the first couple of days, you can see I'm going baby steps in. There's plays, but there's smaller unit plays because we don't have a lot of solid info yet. But I did play this game, and I did play the Charlotte team total over. I just zeroed in on Charlotte. I think you mentioned right off the bat, there is not a lick of defense going to be played by Michael Porter Jr. or Cam Thomas. So the Nets are serious, and they've got 5 rookies on this team. And I just can't see the Nets going out there against an up-tempo pace team like Charlotte, who wants to push and has legitimate scorers across the board, even a couple deep into the rotation. Number was 115.5 yesterday at first, Skee. When I got it, when I recommended it, it had jumped up a point to 116.5, but I still think Charlotte is likely in that 117 category. One thing I think we know we're going to get here is a lot of opportunity. Charlotte may shoot a bunch of free throws here. Again, when you have so many guys that haven't played together, defensive assignments get blown all the time. In this game, I think Charlotte can take huge advantage of it. They're going to want to come out on their home floor opening night, and play really well. So my play here was Charlotte team total up and over what's currently 116.5.
All right, good stuff on that, Rob. Can't talk you off at all. Let's keep going down the list. I messed up something on my screen here, but I'll try to fix it as we keep going. Next up is 509, 510. Heat hidden, or their neighbors, going to Orlando to face the Magic. Opened up -8.5 for Orlando. Still see 8.5 out there. There is a 9 that just popped up. Total open 213.5, and it looks like it's as high as 215.5. And again, I just want to refresh because when I see these lines moving, you know what time it is. The injury report, something might have happened. We are waiting on Khalil Ware. He's listed as questionable. There will be no Tyler Hero in this game, and then Mo Wagner out for the Magic. I saw somebody in the chat. I gotta put this up there because let me just where is it? Miami team total under. They got no shooters. I mean, when I'm looking, Norman Powell can shoot, Wiggins can shoot, Davion Mitchell can hit a couple jumpers. It's not like they don't have anybody. But I do think, they can struggle going up against this Magic defense. I mean, we've seen the last year, the year before, I think even as well, very, very good defensive team. A lot of the problem that I had with the Magic was thought process wise, was usually when I expect teams to win by these big margins, it's teams that I trust to shoot the three well and defend the three well. Now, the Magic were one of these teams that they didn't have a whole lot of shooters last year, but when they were big favorites, they were pretty damn good. They still found a way to do it. And now this season, you had Desmond Bain, who helps you in that department where you were lacking. So I like the addition. I like this Magic team. Uh, the more I think about it, I mean, I think they can win this game by double digits. Can you talk me off of the Magic here at the house?
No, because it's still on my short list to play. I was waiting on, some kind of definitive information on Ware. If Ware can't go, it throws Jovic into the game, and it's just a different story. When they went to that lineup last year, when they played Bam at the 4 and Ware at the 5, it kind of worked for Miami. They started scoring a little more, but like you mentioned, no Tyler Hero, but insert Norman Powell. Norman Powell can do Tyler Hero type things. Davion Mitchell's not necessarily a shooter, to the earlier comment about they don't have shooters. Wiggins, we don't know. I don't really trust that bench on Miami. But here's what put it on the short list for me was when I saw Jalen Suggs was going to play. I thought Jalen Suggs might miss. And this is a team, for those who don't know, that I played a future bet on to win the Southeast Division. I know Atlanta's made improvements, but the Desmond Bain pickup, and then add on top of it, Skee, what I think is probably one of the most unheralded acquisitions of the offseason, when Orlando picked up Tyus Jones, who, believe it or not, Tyus Jones at point guard has led the NBA in assist to turnover ratio 6 of the last 7 years.
Yep.
It's crazy how good
He's
he
awesome.
is with the ball. And like you said, you normally don't trust Orlando offensively to cover numbers like this, but when you can come off the bench with Tyus Jones, that's a big deal for playmaking ability for the Magic, who definitely have guys who can finish. So to me, like I say, it was on the short list. It might totally get on the playlist here, minus the 8.5 or whatnot. I don't want it to get too out of hand. You said you saw a 9 jump, so there may be an interruption.
Only one, yeah.
In the show here, if that starts to move, we may have to interrupt and get involved quicker than we want to. But yeah, I do like Orlando.
Yeah, we'll shut it down real quick on this show. We don't play around. Open up that wallet. Let's get involved. All right. Yeah, we're both looking at Orlando in this game. Next one. 5-11, 5-12. Toronto and Atlanta. Opened up Atlanta -6. Came down a little bit to 5.5. Total open 235.5. And as high as 237.5. Injury report. Nobody on there for the Hawks. For the Raptors, Jacoby Walter, I believe that is out. Murray Boyles is out as well. This Raptors team now has the combination of Ingram and Barnes on the wings, and I like it. That's a lot of length, a lot of athleticism, defense. I like that. At the same time, I don't really trust or like the guard play for Toronto. I actually hate it. So I'm unsure, what I really want to do with this Toronto team. As far as Atlanta, I do like their roster. I like the addition of Porzingis. I think that I think they have some potential to make some noise this year. But it's really, really only one guy I trust to defend right there. And you know me, Rob. I like to expect that I can trust to get some stops when I'm laying some points. So that makes me hesitate on the Atlanta side. I want to try to find reasons to take the points with Toronto, but then I look at quickly and RJ and I say, never mind. So is there any way you can get involved with the Raptors and Hawks?
Real quick to the one guy that you can trust defensively on the Hawks side, it's the new guy, right? It's Dyson Daniels, that guy. But it's
Absolutely.
interesting that at shooting guard, Ski, a couple of years back, and this is a reason why I played Orlando to win the Southeast. Atlanta made the big move for DeJounte Murray, who was a better two-way player. I mean, a very good defensive player and a far better offensive player than Daniels is. Daniels is excellent on the defensive end, but he's not DeJounte Murray offensively. And they still couldn't get anything done. And it's a little bit bothersome to me. I know a lot of people are high on the Hawks. Now, if I flip it over, I know that our buddy and colleague Teddy Covers is extremely high on Toronto. I have to see it to probably accept it. What I do think is that last year, I don't know, the last 30 games or so, or let's just say after All-Star break, Toronto was just a wildly high scoring team. Score a lot, give up a lot. And if they continue that philosophy when you play the Hawks, maybe you can get to over. I just don't know that I can get involved in a game where I need 238 on the first game of the season. We're probably going to get to 240 real fast here from the odds makers if this is already 237.5. It took double overtime last night, like you say, in that OKC Houston game to get to where it was. They're far better defensive teams. I don't know. Don't like the game as far as betting it is concerned, but I want to see what Toronto looks like on the floor here for a couple of games. And, if that guard play is anything at all, they should be able to score. I know Emmanuel Quickly is going to charge that team up and down the floor, so you should get opportunities here.
Yeah, I would expect them to play with pace for sure. And I mean, you expect the same kind of thing with the Hawks, right? So, I mean, I can understand if this one was the highest scoring game of the night. I wouldn't be surprised. Um, yeah, let's keep going down the list. Drip Fuego says any player props. I mean, nothing is standing out right now. I mean, yesterday I talked about some player props, but again, this is the first game of the season. We don't have any numbers. We don't have anything to go off of, and we have 11 or 12 games to handicap as it is. So, nah, don't see any player props right now that are standing out to me. Really just spend the time getting through these 12 games trying to figure out who I'm gonna pick on the side in total, honestly. Um, Next, 76ers and Celtics opened up -2.5 for Boston. Looks like 4.5 right now. Total open 224.5, and it's all the way up to 229. As far as who's available tonight, Jaylen Brown is still questionable. We know there's no Tatum for Boston. Paul George is out. McCain is out. Wofford is out for Philly. Shocker, Rob Veno. I
Makes a
mean,
lot of money for not playing.
yeah, man. Joel Embiid will be out there. We'll see what he looks like. Uh, I'm not a big believer in current state of Joel Embiid or what I've seen from him recently. So I'm not high on the Sixers in general. No secret. I do like their rookie VJ Edgecombe. Maybe he can have a good game, but as far as this game, if I'm betting it, I think it was Jaylen Brown, and he was saying something like, yeah, he's more like this seems like more of a track team than a basketball team. Like they just want to run, and you see the total skyrocketing up. So players talking like that, especially early in the season, no numbers. I tend to want to listen. I think the total moved in the right direction, and yeah, that's how I feel. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, and I think those moves in this game, Ski, correlate. Boston's up to 4 now or 4.5. The total's up. And I think that's just somebody knows that Jaylen Brown's going to be involved in the game. Game sat, total sat, and then all of a sudden it popped. And I think that probably means Jaylen Brown's involved. And I can't disagree with him. When you look at their new look lineup, Ski, and we know Boston wants to shoot 53s a game. Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Sam Hauser, Jaylen Brown, all in the starting five. That's crazy. You're going to get an awful lot of pace. You're going to get an awful lot of 3-pointers. And on the other side, it's the same thing. I mean, a couple of preseason games here locally, watching the Sixers, VJ Edgecombe. Again, it's preseason, but we saw him at Baylor, gets out on the wing. He's a tremendous athlete, good finisher, looked good in preseason. Having Tyrese Maxey back is huge. Quentin Grimes was the leading scorer for Philly last year. Once all the starters went down and they were playing with that backup unit, the guy they went to was Quentin Grimes. So they've got all kinds of scoring in their lineup. There's nobody to contest Embiid if, in fact, he is healthy enough to play well tonight. He looked pretty good in preseason. I will say he doesn't look like he's struggling movement-wise. So I could understand the total. I should have been there to start with at the 224.5. But now that's quite the move up to 229.5. But I certainly understand it because I think this is going to be some form of track meet.
All right, next game up, Pistons and Bulls, 515, 516. Open -2.5 for Pistons. I think it got up to 4.5 and came back down once Chicago's injury report got a little cleaner. Total open 234.5, went down. Now that the injury report is cleaner, it went back up to 237.5. Kobe White out, Zach Collins out. Karis LeVert is probable for Detroit. No Sasser is doubtful, I'm sorry. And Ivy looks like he's gonna be out. Veno, I did play this game. And I don't like to see the total going up when I bet an under. But really, my thought process is, again, we don't have the numbers and all this stuff. My thought process was you're missing a lot of points and pace without both Kobe White and Jaden Ivey. That was the basis for it. But I'll ask you, with this total on the rise, do you think it's the wrong side to be on the under, or how are you viewing Detroit and Chicago?
Well, I will say this to your case. Anybody who's taken the time to listen to Billy Donovan, I mean, he's trying to tell everybody defense and physicality. Those are the first two words out of his mouth about this season. It's a 360-degree polar opposite of what the Bulls have been. But when we see that they got Jalen Smith out of Detroit at center, a shot blocker deluxe, when we see that Patrick Williams is back healthy, it's interesting. Some of the guys, Isaac Okoro is now on this team. Some guys who are more defensive minded than offensive minded now infiltrating the Bulls rotation. I mean, you can't just believe the coach because he says that's what he wants to do. The players still have to do it. But I'd rather take a night and see if the Bulls do play any form of defense. Pistons can score. They didn't have Jaden Ivey all last year, basically, and they still scored. So they've got players. Duncan Robinson in their starting lineup is kind of interesting. All shoot, no defense. I don't know, Skee. I could see your side of it. I didn't play because I'd rather watch the Bulls after hearing Donovan talk and just see if it's lip service or if they really are going to be at least a little bit different. I don't expect them to be a team that is top 5 defense in the NBA, but they were so rotten last year. If they could just get up to, average 15, 16, 17 in the NBA, they could be pretty good. So we'll see.
Yeah, if I'm playing a player prop here, it's absolutely Cade. And I would prefer to bet on Cade than bet on the Pistons because, Pistons are going to win. I think Cade is having a great night. That's just how I view them. So to the person who asked about player props, so far, probably Cade, maybe VJ in the previous game, Cam Thomas or MPJ in that Nets game, and I'm talking points for all of these guys. So Evan Mobley, PRA, as of right now, that's just looking down the list. Those would be guys that I would try to make a case for. All right, keep going here. New Orleans Pelicans, Memphis Grizzlies, 517, 518. Opened up -3.5 for the Grizzlies. Looks like 4. Total open 234.5, as high as 237. Who is available or who is not available in this game? The Pelicans will be without DeJounte Murray, Kevon Looney. I feel like year after year, even in the Grizzlies just always have a laundry list of injuries. Like Why is everybody always hurt there? No Brandon Clark, no Zach Edey, Ty Jerome out, Scottie Pippen Jr. out, Williams out. I have a hard time. I feel like it's the lineup is so inconsistent all the time with this Grizzlies team. I never have a strong feel on them. In general, this Pelicans team, I like 1 through 4. I'm not gonna say I don't like 5. I worry. That would be my worry if I'm worried about this roster is Kevon Looney and Misi. Um, but I do think 1 through 4 will be able to score on, with the best of them. So seeing them getting points here, I was trying to make a case for the Pelicans. Can you help me out trying to get there with New Orleans?
It's hard. And it's just as hard to make a case for the other side, Ski, to tell you the truth. But to go back to your point about the Memphis injuries, they're not just injuries; those are all long term. Like we're not going to see those guys for a while. Zach Edey out until mid December. Ty Jerome out until late November. Brandon Clark out until December. Scottie Pippen Jr. out until January. Those are 4 guys that play minutes for this team, and you're not going to see them for at least 6 weeks, any of them. So it's kind of a strange situation here. You throw KCP into the mix to help Josh score a little bit. John, Jaren Jackson are certainly quality duo capable of anything, but I don't know. I kind of like the Pelicans scoring ability off the bench. I will say with Alvarado, with the rookie from Oklahoma, Jeremiah Fears, who's a scorer deluxe, and then Jordan Hawkins, second year out of UConn. But I know Jose Alvarado's a pretty good defender, but I don't see a lot of defense in this game. It's one of those that was priced too high for me to get to the total. But sidewise, it's just difficult. You have to just watch this game, in my opinion.
If
Maybe
the
maybe there's
number is
props here, Ski.
well, S. Dot says Morant over 24.5 points. I mean, I don't
It's
see a
just
whole lot of rim protection for the Pelicans. I mean,
right.
I could see Morant getting there. Um, Zion, maybe he has a. I mean, we saw Skinny Luca last night. Maybe we see Skinny Zion tonight go off. People got something to prove in these first games. So yeah, maybe Zion, maybe John Morant points. It's tough. I feel like anybody can score on that Pelicans team, but Zion should be the most motivated, I think. All right. Keep going down the list here. I think we're making okay time. It's so many games. Washington and Milwaukee opened up -9 for the Bucks. Looks like 9.5 for 10. Total open 227.5. As low as 226.5, but we'll call consensus 227. For the injury report, Bilal is out for Washington. Nobody else. Nobody on the injury report for the Bucks. Veno, you like the Bucks this season as far as being able to win a little bit more than a 500 team. Um, I mean, this should be one of the teams that they're able to beat up on. I like when I look at this, I see Giannis surrounded by shooters. I like Turner protecting the paint. I think that the Bucks should be able to win this game by a big margin. But when I say that, it is the first game. I am always wary of laying, close to double or laying double digits in this first game of the season. Like you just never know if they're gonna come out already in rhythm. It's a lot of points for that. So I ask you, are are you a little bit nervous about that? Is there any case to be made for the Wizards, or is it the good old over with Milwaukee and Washington?
Well, I'll say that I'm with you as far as Bucks covering numbers is concerned, especially double-digit numbers. I will be involved here. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm going to play the Milwaukee team total over 118.5 here. There just doesn't seem to be a lot of resistance from the Wizards side. And Milwaukee is healthy and deep, 1 through 9. I mean, when 6 through 9, what's listed at least for tonight is Bobby Portis, Kyle Kuzma, Torian Prince, and Cole Anthony. That's pretty solid 6 through 9 at all positions. So for me, it's certainly, we hear Giannis every single year. He's pretty loyal to this team because he probably could have gone. um, at some point and left them. But I think there's something to prove here. I hate to use the word because it's so overused, statement game. It's not really a statement game, but it's Milwaukee coming out as a group tonight and kind of setting a tone. Love them having Miles Turner at center
Hmm.
now. I think that's huge for them, and especially where scoring is concerned tonight against what's not a good Washington defense whatsoever. I mean, CJ's in there now. CJ and Chris Middleton are both going to start. There's no defense between the two of them really. So for me, it's going to be the Bucks team total. The current number listed is 118.5. I think they'll get to 120 here. Whether or not they cover, I'm not sure, but I do think they'll score.
I like that play. I mean, I thought about it this morning before we talked. My hesitation was if they're getting blown out by so much, maybe they just, take it easy at the end. But still, it's hard for me to see Washington stopping this Milwaukee squad. And Milwaukee has a solid bench too.
That's what I mean. Yeah. The 6 through
So,
9 is good.
I mean, maybe we can even trust those guys if it gets out of hand to continue scoring. Um,
Well,
yeah, I mean, 118.5 seems pretty doable, Rob. I do like it. I might join on that one. I won't stop the show right now, but might open up that wallet a little bit later. Comment came and said from Casey. There's two comments here. She likes Porter's assist. Then you have S. Dot saying Giannis triple double off the summer interleague comments on passing, and then Cody likes Giannis PRA, and Casey says Middleton props, and this one could be interesting. I mean, we're expecting more points than not. I can't talk anybody off of any of these props you said for this game. All right, Vino, let's keep going here. Clippers and Jazz, another big point spread, open minus 8.5 for LA. Looks like 9.5. Total open 226.5, and it's down as low as 225.5. As far as who's available, only Jay Miller out. My bad. Let me refresh. Jordan Miller out for the Clippers. For Utah, Collier and Niang both out. Oh, Ace Bailey is gonna play. Okay, I thought I saw him listed as questionable, so he must have gotten taken off of the injury report. Um, in general, Rob, I look at this Utah team, and I feel like we saw this last year. I don't have the numbers to back it up, but Utah does have a home court advantage with the altitude and stuff over there. And I don't know. I just feel like they have a lot of guys who can make it scrappy. You got Kessler to protect the paint. Markkinen is a bucket. I think Ace Bailey's a bucket. No, he's a rookie, but I like Keontae George. I mean, 10 points, giving this Utah team 10 points at home. I really want to try to get there. I do. Clippers team starting lineup looks stacked if this is 2016. Yeah, but I mean, it is a group of good names. Guys are older, and you know, I don't like to bet on the older guys to come out in the first game of the season and just be already rolling. I think it might take those guys a little bit to get going. You got the old car, you gotta crank it up, let it run a little bit. You can't just hop in there and go like it's a 2025. So I don't know. They might stumble in this first game. I lean towards Utah, Ravino. Can you talk me off?
no, and I think what you just said, that one situational just plays out in my mind constantly is that LA, whether it be slow start, whether it be get the vets out at the end of the game because you're winning big and Utah can sneak in under the number. Utah's going to try to run. There's no reason why you wouldn't run against this team and force them. The age on these players, and again, saying get the vets off the floor. There's more than a couple of vets. James Harden is old. Bradley Beal is old. Chris Paul is old. Nicholas Batum is old. Brooke Lopez is old. Bogdanovich is old. They're all old. You got to take everybody off the floor at the end of the game. So I could see it from the Utah standpoint in those two ways. Maybe the Clippers don't come out of the gate rolling, or maybe they're up big at the end and they don't keep their foot on the gas and they give everybody, limited, 29, 30 minutes. The problem is Utah going to play enough defense for me? And I will add to it a little bit because you talked about Kessler protecting the rim, which he does. Kyle Filipowski is extremely scrappy player too. Watching him in summer league, he was their best player by far and away, scoring 30 plus a night, making all kinds of plays. But Nurkic as a backup center is a pretty good rim protector too. He doesn't provide you too much offensively, but they do have a little bit of rim protection there. So we'll see. Walter Clayton Jr., the rookie from Florida, who we all remember when they won the national title. We'll see how he debuts here in the NBA, but he's another one that can put up points instantly. Utah's full of those types of guys. Generally, Utah, you like to play their home games over. Maybe I could see that here, or maybe you could even see a Utah team total over to avoid any blowout situation. I'm looking right now, Skee, their number is 107.5. You'd ask Utah to get to 108. It's possible. I haven't played, but just a thought there with Utah.
Yeah, I don't know. I must have been thinking wrong here, Rob Veno, because these numbers are not reflecting what I thought about Utah from last season. Utah as a home dog of 8+, 4-9 ATS. I don't know. So I don't know. Maybe I was thinking of something else, but when I do think about this game, just looking at the rosters and just the situation, we talked about it's a bunch of young guys versus guys with walkers and tennis balls on them. I kind of like that Utah, man.
With tennis balls on them, that's priceless. Oh, man.
Yeah, that might be an old school.
There's probably a bunch of overs in those home games, though, Skee, I think, with Utah. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, that pops in my head, but now I think about it, maybe because I'm not in school anymore, but it was like when I was younger in school, you used to see the walker with the tennis ball or something. I don't know. I don't know where. I don't know. All right, let's keep going, man. Spurs and Mavericks. 523, 524. Open -2.5 for Dallas. Still sitting at 2.5. Total open 224.5. Seen it as low as 223.5. Injury report. No Kyrie, no Exum, and then you have Gafford doubtful for Dallas. For the Spurs, De'Aaron Fox, Kelly Olynyk, Sohan, and then Waters look like they're all out. First thing to me in this one, when you look at the injury report, I feel like you're missing 2 point guards for this Dallas team. You're also missing a star point guard for this Spurs team. It's a lot of playmaking and scoring gone. You think about this Dallas team. They do have D'Angelo Russell to run the show still, but I'm just saying, you got a lot of bigs, a lot of defense. They were a good defensive team last year. I think that will continue more than anything. I think we can trust Dallas to come out here and be good defensively. Spurs, as long as Wemby's on the court, they're going to have a solid defense as well. So I think this is more of an under game. I agree with the line slightly going down here. I think in general, Mavs games are going to be lower scoring this season. So under 224.5 is direction I'm looking here. How do you see it?
Yeah, it seems like the best direction to look, Skee, because trying to play side here is difficult. I'd probably lean Dallas. And Dallas, the roster was built for nights like this when Daniel Gafford can't go because there are so many bigs on the floor for Dallas that if one's going to be missing, it doesn't matter. There's 4 more to take his place. Anthony Davis, Derek Lively, PJ Washington, Cooper Flagg, et cetera, et cetera. And in the preseason, they did something interesting. They played Cooper Flagg at point guard quite a bit. So you're probably going to
Is that belief in Cooper Flagg or is that disbelief in Russell? That's what
No, I think they're going to play Russell, but they're going to use Flagg to, take some minutes off of him. which was interesting watching him. I think that teams probably would try to blitz him, and as the regular season gets here, there wasn't a lot of that going on the preseason games that I watched. But Flag is a guy who Jason Kidd believes can play 1 through 5. Size and versatility, he has it. AD, Derek Lively, like I say, there's a lot of defense there. There's some decent offense as well. The other side, Castle is so much more of a 2 guard than a point. I think that between he and Devin Vassell, they may have a more difficult. They have Dylan Harper too. To me, Dylan Harper might
I
be the
like
best
Dylan
ball
Harper.
handler of all. Right? He might be the best.
He looks like his daddy.
His dad was a good ball player. So they've got answers too, but it's not the Aaron Fox like you mentioned for sure. I'm with you. There's a ton of rim protection in this game, and I don't know that there's a lot of up and down track meet style play. I don't think Jason Kidd wants that for 48 minutes. I think they'll do it in spurts. I'm not so sure the Spurs want it with the current lineup without Fox. I think when De'Aaron Fox comes back, they'll be a lot quicker team. So maybe under 224.5 is a solid look.
All right. I like it. I like it. I am on it, actually. All right. Suns and Kings. Oh, man. I'm going to have some fun with this one. Maybe I'll take it easy. It's the first game of the season, but 525, 526. Opened up Phoenix -1.5. Now see Phoenix -4, 4.5. I don't know how many times we're going to see that this season. Total open 228.5. Looks like 229. Who is available here? Let's see. So we have Grayson Allen, probable. Jalen Green, not available here. For Sacramento, the bonus out. Keegan Murray out. Isaac Jones out. So some key players missing here for both sides. Yeah, Veno, this is very, very simple for me. I don't think I've ever had a team on a hell no list before the season starts. But if there was a team, it's 1,000% going to be the Sacramento Kings. I mean, we've seen this. How many times have we? Is this the Chicago Bulls or the Sacramento Kings? Like, we've seen enough of Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. This is not going to work. You look at the rest of the roster. I mean, when you're going to be banking on, and you're banking on Westbrook to come here and play some minutes as well. I mean, this is a disaster. If I see Westbrook, LaVine, and DeRozan on the floor at the same time, I'm gonna lie bet the other side for that quarter. Like, I just don't think that's good basketball being played. I have zero belief in the Sacramento Kings. I don't necessarily love the Suns, but I think they'll be better than Sacramento. So I lean Phoenix here. How you see it?
A couple of things to add to where you were going with that. Can you imagine? And I have them kind of in parentheses here. Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Malik Monk all on the floor at the same time. They're going to be grabbing the ball out of each other's hands to shoot shots. It's just not. And Dennis Schroeder running the whole show. It's just not something that would appear to be cohesive or fluid. These guys are playing together. Well, I guess LaVine and DeRozan have played together in a different uniform, but you get what I'm saying in this starting five. I think the injuries for Sacramento is what pushes me towards Phoenix. They're so small that DeMar is going to have to play power forward tonight. They're going to squeeze all those guys into the starting lineup. All their size is basically gone when you don't have Sabonis, when you don't have Keegan Murray, that's your starting center and power forward, and then you don't have your backup power forward, Isaac Jones. All that's left here, from what I see on the roster, is Drew Eubanks, probably the starter tonight, Dario Saric. That's not good enough to play the Dylan Brooks, Ryan Dunn, and Mark Williams. Mark Williams will protect the rim for sure. Those four guys, Skee, in the Phoenix lineup, and again, this is another head coach and, in fact, ownership, which during the offseason preached toughness, got to be more physical. So they bring in these guys. Grayson Allen, we know he'll kick you for sure. Dylan Brooks will fight you. Ryan Dunn was proved to be a really good defensive player. Mark Williams is a rim protector. So they've got size and physicality that Sacramento doesn't have. I would have to lean Phoenix in its debut game here. I don't like laying 4 with Phoenix. That's for sure. But
Seems
I
like they're
can't.
full for a reason.
Yeah, I can't see betting Sacramento. Let's put it that way. No how, no way.
Capper says, "Hell no!" Before the season starts is crazy. I mean,
How
yeah,
about till Fox and Sabonis get back? Or no, excuse me, till Sabonis and
Murray and
Keegan
Sabonis.
Murray get back.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to my guy. I missed his comment earlier. I meant to bring it up. He said, "What up, boys? NBA's back." Then he says, "With the injury bullshit."
Yeah, we were talking about it, Ronald. It certainly is.
Ryan, I'm curious why the bottle of Coke is a flex. Is it because it's good? I mean, I just happen to like Coca-Cola, and I think the glass Coke is the best one. That's all. All right. Drew Skee says, "Where's the defense for the Suns?" I trust Mark Williams to protect the paint more than Drew Eubanks. I trust Ryan Dunn. I trust Dylan Brooks to play defense more than Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. I mean,
Yeah,
what are we talking about, Drewski? What are we talking about, bro?
and we just listed them, all 4 of them.
Um, hopefully I don't slander this. I'm gonna just say TM just because I'm unsure how to pronounce the first name. I think I know, but I don't want to mess it up. Um, TM says make sure you guys are pressing the like button and sharing the live. I appreciate it. Definitely does help out the show. And maybe let some people at Wager Talk know, this show is all right. It doesn't need to be cut. It's okay. So appreciate it if you guys can do that. Um, Gary says always Coca-Cola. Absolutely. All right. We finally made it to the last game on the slate, Rob. I thought we never would, but somehow we're here.
Mm-hmm.
527, 528. Minnesota and Portland opened up -3 for Minnesota. Looks like current number is 4 or 4.5. Total open 218.5, and it looks like 221.5 right now. Let me refresh. Anthony Edwards was listed as questionable. Still listed as questionable. For the Blazers, we know there's no Lillard. There's also no Scoot. And then Time Lord looks like he's out. Man, he's how long is he gonna last in the league? He's always hurt. All right, Rob, so I've been kind of torn on this game. I'm a big Drew Holiday fan in general. When Drew Holiday went to the Bucks, I said the Bucks can win. They're gonna win. I put a ticket on the Bucks to win. He goes to the Celtics, they go over there and win. He's just a winning player. Everything about him, everything he does. Portland is not expected to win a whole lot of games, but Drew Holiday should make them better. Klingen, I like him to protect the paint. Good shot blocker, big guy. I don't know. I'm not gonna say they're the same, but in that regard, I'm looking at Klingen and Gobert the same. I think there's going to be some paint protection in this game. I think that the Timberwolves have proved to us that they're a really good defensive team. Drew Holiday should help make the Portland's defense better. I want to buck the line move from 218.5 to 221.5. I think it's more of an under game. And if I had to say anything about the side, I would probably play Portland for a first quarter here. And if Anthony Edwards is out, that's amazing. But it's just I like the starting lineup for this Portland team. I don't know how much I like everybody else. So that's how I'm seeing this game, either under or Portland early currently. How do you see it, Rob?
Well, I couldn't bet it under until I know if Anthony Edwards is going to play or not. If he's in the game, it makes it hard because Minnesota's got the ability to explode offensively. What I do like, and what I played a lot last year, and I continually say that I don't play a lot of props. But Donovan Clingan was a guy, Skee, when Robert Williams was out of the lineup, which he is tonight. Donovan Clingan was a guy I used to lean on for his points plus rebounds, or for just his rebounds, because he can, he's the only guy really that can get those for that team. And even against Gobert, I think his rebounds here are in play. perhaps his points. Love what you said about Drew Holiday. I think everybody knows we're not going out on a limb telling people that he's an all-star type defender. And when you look at the scoring available on Portland, it just looks like a lower scoring team, especially against this defense. So 221 to me seems really high. The only reason I couldn't get there yet is because I don't know the status of Edwards. If he plays, it probably changes the whole complexion of everything. He's that good. We know he's that good. So I laid off for now, but we'll see what the injury report gives us a couple hours from now.
All right, sounds like a plan. UCapper says this is a fishy line on the side. I mean, yeah, maybe not so fishy if Anthony Edwards doesn't play. It might make a little bit of sense there. We shall see. Over Jamrock kicks. Absolutely over on injury report updates. GQ Hustler asking for help on the total in the Cleveland, New York game. It's the first game we talked about. So you can scroll back to the beginning of the show and you will get your answer there. All right, Vino, that's all the games for today. I think we did a hell of a job. We talked about, I didn't count, it's either 11 or 12 games, it felt like, and we did it in 51 minutes. So good job by us. All right, before we move to best bets, see if we can do a little bit of some kind of promo here. What do we want to toss on the screen today, Rob? For one, let me ask you, do you know off the top of your head if the opening week thing is still going?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll put that
Still
up first.
going. Yep.
If you guys want to rock with Rob Veno and myself, you can get involved with the NBA opening week. It comes out to $10 a day. Yeah, you get every play we release, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking to probably load up by 2 p.m. I'm probably gonna have a very, very large card today. But yeah, a good way to get involved with both of us. This one, I'm gonna shout out more for Rob Veno just because he absolutely killed the NFL last week. 7-1 he did, and you can get all his releases Saturday, Sunday, Monday for just $49. Everything on the in football. And if you wanted to be involved with myself, I do have a top play for Thursday night. My top plays are 7-4 this season, and I'm looking at a couple more. This weekend. I think that is good. No, one more. How about this? I never put this up. Let's see if we can do a little something with this. If you are a person who wants to do something more long term, you can you can take advantage of the 1-year pass. You'll get $500 off, and it comes out to just $125 a month. It's every sport, every single play. And not only do you get that, you get a 25% bonus coupon. So if you want to rock with Rob Veno for a year, you can do that. You get that bonus coupon. You want to come check Skee out, that will work out too. And yeah, for a guy like myself, I told you already, my top plays in the NFL are winning, etc. My teasers are undefeated this season. WNBA will be included in that. Past 2 seasons ended in profit there. You'll get NBA, etc., etc. And Rob, if you haven't noticed, he knows everything and does everything. So you can get Rob Veno too. All right, Veno. If there's anything else you would like to add or promote, feel free. If you have a best bet for the show, we'd love to hear it. And if you do not, it's all good.
Just the last promo you put up there, Skee, just looking at the numbers, that's $4 a day for a year. It's they've done a great job at discounting that year-long package. So again, like Skee said, for those of you who are in it for the duration and you do this every single day the way we do, could be the way to go. Let's go to best bets real quick here. And I'm going to go to the Washington-Milwaukee game, Skee. We talked about it. And when I looked at the side, I was like, lay 10 with Glenn? No way. We're not going to lay 10 with Glenn. But what we could do is bet on that team to score points tonight, and I think they will. I think they get to 120 plus. The matchup screams points for Milwaukee against the poor defense of Washington. So give me that for tonight. Best bet, Milwaukee team total, full game over 118.5.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense to me. And for myself, let's see. Let's pick and choose. I am going to go with, I want to give you guys a number. You can get the same thing that I took. So that makes it easy, actually, because 2 of the lines already moved. So we'll go best bet. Dallas and San Antonio. You can still get 224.5 to the under. Like I said, you're missing some point guard play from both sides. We know how good of a defensive team Mavs were last year. They're a lot of paint protection, a lot of bigs, a lot of length. They're going to be really good on defense again this year. And I mean, you got the clear defensive player of the year as long as he plays enough games, holding down the paint for the San Antonio Spurs. So I think that under 224.5 is a solid pick for the best bet on the show. Vino, it's been great breaking down these games with you. Talking them out with you helps my process tremendously. I'm sure it helps out everybody else as well. Everybody in the chat, we appreciate you too. Great cappers, great people. And you know how we do here, man. We all just trying to help each other win. So always want to let you know you're appreciated. To everybody who is maybe not in the YouTube chat, whether you're on Twitch, X, Kick, we appreciate you all as well. Apple, Spotify. We appreciate everybody for tuning in and watching. And we're going to do our best to have a really profitable NBA season on this show. So best of luck, everybody, on your action in this humongous slate. We'll be back again tomorrow to talk the 2 NBA games and Thursday night football. We will see you all then.